guys, this is Melissa's dad for Into Boxing, and I am delighted to be joined by the man himself, Mr. Adam Smith. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Very good indeed. Excited about this, the weigh-in tomorrow night. It's a big show for us in London. We've got Newcastle the week after, then we go to Coventry, so up and down the country, boxing's back.
I mean, this is a really, really cracking card. You know, we're just before the weigh-in at the moment. We had a really exciting press conference yesterday, so press week is well and truly underway. Let's talk a little bit about the card. Obviously, we have Riyad Juma as the main event, which was a little bit of a switch around. Actually, that changed. Riyad was meant to be facing Fabio Turchi, and Dion was meant to be facing Mikel Lawal. So talk us a little bit through that change.
I think it's in many ways it's a more exciting fight and certainly more appealing to the British fight fans. Fabio Turchi is a really good fighter, and it was a good step up for Richard, and also for his world ranking position, because we wanted to push him into a world title probably later in the year. However, Fabio pulled out injured, Mikel Lawal had COVID, so Ben and I talked, and we thought that the best possible outcome was to give Dion Juma the opportunity, and also they have history, they've sparred together. It's a West London, South London rivalry, and I've known about Dion for a long, long time, and I think he's deserved an opportunity, and I was really behind this fight. I think it's a really good main event. I think it's got a bit of spice, both unbeaten, both the same age, Richard with a bit more momentum maybe, and a bit more quality faced as a professional, but Dion a very good amateur, and he's had bad luck with injury and inactivity, and I thought he deserved his opportunity, and I'm glad it's happening, and I think it's hats off to both fighters for making it. It's a really good fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, credit to both fighters for taking it, quite last minute actually, obviously preparing for different fights. You can really sense the tension between the two boxers. Obviously, as you say, they've known about each other, sparred together. They both feel like they have the credentials to actually see this fight over the line. I know that Sky Sports Boxer has a favourite in Riyad, obviously winning that fight, but a lot of people are kind of backing Dion for this and thinking it might be a banana skin situation.
Well, Ben has a favourite. We're independent, of course. We're the broadcasters. Obviously Richard is a big, powerful member of the Boxer stable, and we work very, very closely with Boxer, and I think it's important that we're giving the public the story of Richard Riyad, which is a fantastic one. It's amazing how he's turned his life around. He's he looks the part, he talks well, and he can really fight. But he's got to obviously prove it in the ring. And for Dion Juma, this is a terrific chance. This is maybe an unexpected opportunity as a main event. My thoughts on Dion is that he's so talented. He's got such a good amateur pedigree, but under the lights and on a stage like this, he hasn't performed yet at this level. So that's the question mark against the Ghost. But at the same time, if he gets into a rhythm, he can make life very difficult for Richard. And I like to see how Richard's developing under Angel. It's a big new stable. Fraser Clark's down to support him. AJ's working hard on his rematch, and there's a lot of experience in that camp now. So very, very much very interested in whether Richard can impose himself, or whether he's going to have to sort of find something different to just the raw power. But it's a good fight. It's a really good fight.
I mean, either way, regardless of who wins, it's a really big win for the British boxing fans come Saturday night. If Richard was to win this fight, how far away is he from a world title shot?
Well, I think if he wins it spectacularly against Dion Juma, then we may well go back to Turchi. We may look at something else, but I think world title chances, tilts, opportunities this year, back end of this year, why not? Lawrence Okoli's still the man, but there's other avenues to go down, and I think Richard is pretty much there. He had the difficulties of, as everyone did with the pandemic, knitting with his new trainer, but he's had a chance to do that. He's had a couple of appearances already for Boxer and for Sky in this new era. I think an emphatic display and performance tomorrow night will propel him towards a world title shot. But if it's a closer fight, if it's a struggle, or if Dion wins, then obviously we have to rethink. But I just think it's a really good fight. I think the key for me is to make sure that our customers get fights where you don't know who's going to win, fights which there's a good story behind both of them, and there are for this. So it's a good one for Saturday night at Wembley.
Very exciting times. I mean, the rest of the card as well is fantastic. I know that sometimes different platforms get a bit of stick for the undercards, but actually I think the undercard here is really exciting. It's full of talented prospects, and obviously some really, boxers who've already proven themselves, the likes of Dan Aziz, the Azim brothers, etc. What are your standout fights for the night?
Yeah, Dan Aziz is a great story. He propelled onto the scene, beating Jose Burton a few months ago here. So really exciting because Dan's a throwback. He wants to fight everybody, and it's such an amazingly packed light heavyweight division. So really excited about having Dan on. Adam Azim steps up against Conor Morrison. That's a tough fight at this stage. But is he going to make it tough? We think he's a bit special. We'll have to see how he goes Saturday night. Very excited about Caroline Dubois. I'm a huge advocate of female boxing, and we've gone from strength to strength with it over the years, from Katie Taylor to Savannah to Chantel and Terry Harper. So many brilliant women, and I think now we've got a fantastic stable with Tasha Jonas, who's going to be commentating with us tomorrow night, as well as recently becoming a world champion, and Savannah next week. So it's really important to me to keep that progressing, and Caroline, I think, could be an absolute phenomenon. She's a powerful southpaw. She's just going to get stronger, and she's quick, and I think she's going to be very dangerous, and I think she's going to be a world champion and maybe more. She could even transcend the sport because she's that sort of she's got that sort of ambition behind her. And from the Dubois family, the genetics are pretty strong.
They really are. How important is it to you guys to sort of be building that stable and kind of developing these boxers on such an amazing platform?
Yeah, it's a hugely important thing. We lost our fighters when Eddie went to DAZN. We all worked closely together, Eddie Frank and us, for years. And we had a big stable, and Matchroom went to DAZN. They made that decision, and as you see, there's lots of fights that they're putting on. We're rebuilding. It's a rebuilding process. It's not going to happen overnight. Ben and I are spending a lot of time together making sure that we get the right sort of fighters, the right mixture of men and women, and different backgrounds, different stories, different levels, to make sure that we give opportunities to grassroots fighters, hence the tournament shows, which come back in April. And, some of the young, sort of unheralded, fighters that maybe haven't had that platform yet. So I'm thinking of the likes of Joe Pinkford and Brad Ray, and fighters that maybe hadn't been heard of 6 months ago and now have a chance. But also the best of the young crop coming through, and I think the Azim brothers and Caroline, and obviously Fraser Clark, who we've just signed, and there will be more coming, but very select few coming. We want to make sure that everybody that we get behind now has got some real part to play in boxer and in Sky Sports' future. We feel it's like a bit of a family, that there's a place for, fighters have got to be passionate, they've got to really want it, they've got to have something behind them, and I think that all of the fighters in the stable do have that, and we're going to be making sure that when we add to that, we add the right people.
Obviously you've mentioned kind of Eddie leaving Sky Sports, going with DAZN. Obviously we've got the Joshua Usyk rematch happening, if all goes to plan, fairly soon. What is, I don't really understand it all too well, but what is the likelihood of actually Joshua staying with Sky Sports as a broadcast?
Well, I've always said that I think AJ will stay with us throughout his career. He started with us. I don't see why he would not finish with us. We are very close with Freddie Cunningham, 258, and Anthony. Personally, he's been amazing for us as an ambassador for Sky. He's given us some incredible nights over, obviously, in the stadium with Klitschko and Povetkin down in Cardiff, Parker and Takam out in Saudi and New York. There's been some amazing nights, but more than just boxing, he's been a fantastic sort of figurehead, iconic really for British sport in the last 10 years. And yeah, he lost to Usyk, and maybe Tyson Fury, the number one heavyweight in the world, Alexander Usyk, would argue that. Maybe AJ slipped a bit, but he's looks like he'll have that rematch. And if he can win this time, if he can get revenge, then he becomes a three-time heavyweight champion like Lennox Lewis, and it's fantastic. We're pretty confident. There's negotiations going on behind the scenes. We're pretty confident that Anthony will stay with Sky, but we never know. There's always money flying around and different deals, and it's up to him ultimately. But I know him well, and I don't think he'll go anywhere. And as far as the fight goes, yeah, I mean, it's been very difficult with what's happening in the world, and Vasily Lomachenko's decided to stay there with Vitaly and Vladimir, but I think Alexander does want to fight. He's obviously been given not just permission, but I think people in the Ukraine, the top ministers, want him to fight, to sort of throw Ukraine out to the world. And look, if he comes and he fights, whether it's here or abroad, then we'll welcome Alexander back, and we'll have a great fight and a great rematch. I'm guessing that will happen sometime in the summer.
So obviously, speaking of the heavyweight division, we've got the Tyson Fury Dillian White fight coming up.
Great fight.
Great fight. Another one that the boxing fans are desperate to see. What's your predictions for that fight?
I mean, Tyson's Stark's favourite. He's proven himself the premier heavyweight on the planet with the wins over Deontay Wilder. Incredible story coming back from the situation he was in. We had him when he won the world heavyweight title out in Germany with a brilliant win over Vladimir Klitschko, who'd been unbeaten for a long time. And then he went through obviously the difficult times, put a lot of weight. I remember seeing him in Monaco. He must have been 20 stone plus, and tell me he's going to become heavyweight champion of the world again. I would never have believed that would be possible.
It's amazing, really.
It's amazing he got back in the ring, and I think he's been a phenomenal story. And he comes back, it's his homecoming, but he's in with a very dangerous fighter. And Dillian White has been someone we've got to know at Sky for many years. He's been great value, he's a great guy, he's a really hungry fighter, and he's a very tough man. He's got a big left hook. A lot of people are seeing this as an easy Tyson Fury win. I don't agree. I think Dillian's got a real chance in this fight. As I said, he is the underdog going in, but it could be a tough night for Tyson Fury. This, I think it's going to be very exciting at Wembley Stadium. We don't have the production; it's on BT Sport box office, but we'll be talking about it and really excited about it like everyone else.
Yeah, I feel that everyone will be tuning into that one. Adam, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.